Hi Divyan, good morning. Welcome to the call.
Uh, did you see my animation on the group?
Yes, I did. Did you share it right now again?
No.
I gave you some
The com-
feedback, no? Oh, after that
yeah.
you've done something? No,
After that, I didn't send it.
oh
I
yeah.
after that I changed it a bit.
So today we'll take
I
a
think
closer look at it, yeah? Good
I think I
job.
got the I think I got the real studio experience while making it. I started modeling the cockpit at 10:30. I thought by 11:30 I'd stop that and continue on the animation the next day, but I just got carried away and just started the animation there, worked on it till I think 1.
At night, huh?
Yeah, I
Last
got
night.
carried away.
Yeah, that's
Not
that's
last night,
l-
day before.
day before. So you completed that then, yeah? Can you turn on your
Yeah.
cam, Divyan?
Yeah. 1 minute.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so Kamkar, while we are waiting, I think Moana, I don't think Austin is joining us today as well. He's out somewhere, and Pratyusha has actually dropped out. And I don't know if Ashmeen is also coming. She said she's going to come, and Moana. So while we wait for them, how about you share your screen and let's talk about your scene like you're sharing right now, right? Let's
Sure.
let's
I
see.
also
You
have
got the
one.
proper studio experience. You're saying, huh? Tell me more about it.
Yeah. I also got I also have a doubt with a modifier.
Sure.
So basically for the stars I think I could use a hair modifier on the window scene.
A hair modifier. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but then the only problem with that I can't add the white material to it.
Huh.
How
So
do I
I
make
I
that
will
look
point you in
white?
the I'll point you in the right direction for stars in the sky. It's a pretty simple approach, but it needs some introduction to a new concept called nodes, right? So we'll do that, right? And so we'll talk about it today, like what for see. So show me your scene actually first. Let's take a look, and I
Yeah.
share your screen. In the meanwhile, let me just call Moana. Okay, Moana hopefully is here. Okay, Avish is here. One second, huh? Yes, hello, Avish.
Hello, Abish.
welcome, welcome to the call. Hello. Yes, okay, zoom in. Zoom in onto your scene. So, Avi, this is Divyan sharing his scene. All right. Can you bring that meetinggoogle.com window? Like, can you close it or put it down or something? It's covering your outliner and properties panel. Yes. Okay. So here we have.
Basically, here I also added a second. So after this beep, it illuminates.
Ah,
Then I added a second beep. I'm just wondering how to add the stars after that. That's
stars
all that's
for
left.
the background, right? For the sky.
Yeah,
And then you want the
that's
stars
all
to
that's left.
move like that.
Um, yeah, it should look like they are moving in. It should look like they are moving across in that
Yes.
direction, so it
Yes.
looks like the spaceship is moving
Yes.
itself.
Yes. Yes. All right. And it's just let me take a look at your outliner. So increase the size of your outliner.
1 minute. Hmm. Want to look here?
Yeah, yes, I want to take a look at that. All right. So you
So
have your
me.
cockpit. ये मीटिंग गूगल को साइड में ले लेना या नीचे ले ले. It's covering. हाँ, actually you can cross it. You can close it. Yeah, it'll go away. Yeah, all right. Okay. So here you have two sunlight objects
Um,
and an
this is for
ALE.
the original illumination here,
Uh-huh.
and this one.
It turns
So
on.
for this, I added the
Animation
keyframe so that its intensity increases after
increases.
that robot's head beeps.
Very good. All right. All right. And
And
then
this area is
it
just to let you see the red beep on
right.
the robot's head.
Okay, okay, and the head and the So where is your robots collection?
It's here in the empty. It's all in
Ah,
the empty.
it's all in the empty, right? Okay, okay, okay. And now can you play this animation again? And have you rendered this animation?
As in?
So right now it's in your. Have you exported a video of this animation?
Not directly. I took a screen recording from the
Huh.
camera
So
view.
what stopped you from rendering the animation? You don't know how to?
Um, I don't know how to, I
Ha ha.
think.
No, no problem. No, no, no. I haven't told you how, and that was there in level one, but you haven't been there in level one, right? So you missed that part, right? No, no problem. So we'll talk about that as well. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, just play the animation. So this guy comes in, he beeps, the lights come on. Very nice. I like it. All right.
Yeah, so this guy comes in, he
Yes.
beeps,
Yes.
lights turn on, he beeps again,
Yes.
and then the stars are supposed to move.
Yes, 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 yes. Perfect. Okay. So, what I want you to do is I want you to save this file and make a new file of this. Like save as this. Now it's brobot blend, right? Make it brobot underscore 01. Okay. So
So
you
basically creating a new one.
new version, right? And so this is also a habit you want to get into as you're working on your Blender files. You know, when you reach a milestone, when you have completed a certain thing, right? And then now you're going to do something that will change it, right? You want to
That's
save.
exact.
Sorry?
That's exactly what I did there at the internship at
Ah,
For Next.
uh-huh. So,
Because in first I created the base of the classroom without any of the furniture, just the walls.
uh-huh.
Then we created like copied pasted 20 versions of it and a different thing in each one.
Right. And so then you had versions of it.
Yes.
Right. Hey, which reminds me, I'm sorry we haven't seen your files. Can you show me that again? Show it to me right
Right
now.
now?
Yes, let's see it.
Okay,
Hopefully, Moana.
control
I don't think Shmeen or anyone is joining. Moana's going to join in five.
control O. I'll have to locate this first. Next lower parallel, here it is. Yes, NLP1. So this is just one of the few.
Oh wow.
This is the one we actually ended up going with NLP2. This is like an eye level classroom.
And so you
Eye level.
model all this stuff. What about the chairs and all? You got those assets or you model it?
The chairs are the only things for which I
Picked
got the
up. Yeah,
assets.
the rest you have
Otherwise,
blocked
I
out.
modeled everything else.
Very good. Wonderful.
And
Oh.
and this weird thing right here, this is just a placeholder for something they wanted to add in another software.
Ah. Which software?
I don't know.
Acha.
They
So
said,
you have, so I can see under the image there is a layout, right?
yeah, I'll
Ah.
just hide.
So you use the
How do I
layout
hide it? How can I hide everything except for this image?
except for the image. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
except
know
for
the
the image.
yeah. So it should be actually select everything and just press H. And
Okay,
now click on
just
the
a
image. Yeah, just turn on the image. Right.
like the gizmos are hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was the floor plan.
Right. And then you use that and you build it out and then you populated it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
wonderful. You're already quite a few steps ahead, yeah. Good job, good job. You want to show something else as well?
Yeah, I'll show another version.
Yeah, sure.
NLP file. Let's see what's in this. Oh, this
Yep,
one has an empty
yep, yep.
corner.
Hmm.
Probably not this. NLP3. What do you
So
have
they're
to
actually
show?
using your designs now?
Um,
It helped
yeah, they
them
are.
visualize.
That is what's going to be built in the building.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is another version we tried out, just shifting the TV from here to here.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Then there was a little couch set up in
Couch
this
set up
corner.
in the corner. Right. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Good, good,
You
good.
could have a nurse in every classroom
Nurse. Why do you want a nurse in every classroom?
because there are many people in my grade who every day go to the nurse.
Avish, this is a micro school. There are 5 classrooms in the entire school. You don't
Oh,
need
it's a micro school, huh? Oh, only
yeah.
five.
So in the Marathon Future X building in Lower Parel,
Uh-huh.
there's like some part of the first floor dedicated to this. So that's it. It's
Ah,
supposed to fit 80 to 100 people. My classroom, the one I modeled, that is supposed to fit 15 plus the advisor.
oh, interesting, man. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
And a good job on the your
The
modeling.
architect,
Sorry?
yeah, the architect, the mentor, he actually told me a few days ago that I can come to Roa Parel, see how it is. But
Right.
I'm currently in another city, so
Right.
yeah.
Right. Nice. So
When
you're
you left
currently
the
working on this
school,
as we right now, or it's
No, no,
done?
this ended in late May.
Acha. All right. You can stop sharing your screen now.
Okay, stop.
Okay, perfect.
Papa,
So
you said I was in level 10.
you are in level 10. You are in level 25, my boy. Just a second. All right. Moana's here. Who's this Hetvi Gada? Okay. Admit all. Is this Moana? Ah, hi. Oh, Moana, you are not at home, huh? Okay. All right. So I don't know how much you're going to be able to be part of the session if you're on the move. Okay.
And
So
she's in a train station.
yeah. So Moana, you'll be traveling. Hi. You're going to be traveling, right now. So it's all right. Don't be on the call. It's okay. You focus on your traveling, and you can watch the recorded session. One second. Huh?
Avish, I have a question.
Yeah, you can ask her.
What?
Is that bunk bed behind you the same as the one in our school nurse?
Hmm. Bigger.
Ah.
Okay, so I think Moana is traveling, so she can't be on the scene on the session, right? So I've asked her to not join in, and we'll catch up.
It's gonna be
So
only me and him.
yes, only you guys, okay, the true legends. Okay, so we'll get some really quality time, right? And we will really push ourselves forward, right? And
Papa,
yes,
remember I told you like give 5 10 minutes for the homework?
what about
Eh,
that?
what? Yeah, I didn't do the homework.
Yeah, you didn't do the homework. Thanks for letting me know, right? Thanks for saying it out loud. Okay, and so you're going to do it right now as we speak, okay? In the session, we're going to do some work. Okay, so Divyan, let me tell you how this is going to go. Okay, so today's session is the last session, right? It's the eighth and last session, but we're going to have one catch-up session. Now, the idea of the catch-up session is to allow everyone who has missed sessions to try and catch up, right? And cover all the videos. One second. Huh? To cover all the videos and do their assignment, right? And come
Will
to
that be tomorrow?
no, so the catch up won't be tomorrow. The catch up will probably be 10 days from today. You got to give
Oh,
everyone time, right? Okay, and so you also have that time now, okay, to further develop your scene, right? Um, so so you like you said, you had the total studio experience. Okay, so before anything, let me start the session. So welcome to session number 8, the last and final session of the Blender Kids Level 2 workshop. All right, and today we are going to take forward wherever we were last week, right? In the last session. In the last session, you created this environment, you created a slide story, right? And you placed a camera, you placed some light, and then you might have noticed, Divyan, especially you, as you built, one thing led to the other, led to the other, led to the other. One thought process led to the other and the other. Did that happen to you?
yes.
Yeah,
It was. It happened
right?
a lot with modeling the
Yes.
cockpit.
Right. And so you started one thing and then you asked yourself a question about, okay, what about this? What about this, right? And then you had to answer that question and then you did something, right? Kind of in that space was your experience, correct?
Yeah.
right? And so that exactly is the studio experience. You're absolutely right. So the creation process is iterative, meaning you do versions. The creative process is iterative, and I like to call it working in passes, right? That you take your whole idea, you do one pass on it, bring it to one level. So when I say one pass, you do a basic modeling, you get your character basic in place. Okay, pass one is done, right? Then you come back over it and do upgrade everything. You increase some detail on the background, increase some detail on the character, put a camera, put a light, right? So you see, in each pass, I am further developing the scene and taking it to the next level, right? And every time I take a pass on my scene, I begin to see something more. I begin to see some more holes in the concept, right? Something isn't working, because now you added some more details, so something looks weird or something isn't working, and then you have to solve that, right? And you're solving in passes. So, imagine this analogy is kind of wrong, but it's like, two countries are at war, and Avi, please don't distract now. Don't change your this thing. You won't be able to change back. Okay, so if two countries are at war and one country has an air force, the powerful country that brings the air force, he'll bring in a bomber and he'll come by in one pass and he'll bomb everything, right? Then he swings by and then comes by again and bombs again, right? And so those are like passes. Of course, we are not bombing a scene; it's not the right analogy, but what we're doing every time we revisit our scene is that we are looking at it from a slightly different angle, slightly different perspective, because there's some more detail, there's something more on it, and then we add on it and we build on it. And this is how every studio, every project, whether no matter what discipline you're looking at, right, this is how the real professional creative process works. And you are already introduced to it. You already did that with the next room design, before coming into level 2 you are already working with versions, right? And so now the point of versions is that you can begin to develop complexity, right? So as you start really simple, and that's why this level 2 started with rough drawings, right? Like simplest, most, no detail at all. And then we start increasing the resolution of our visualization. You understand what I mean by resolution, right? At first, it's just so bad, the drawing. You've just done some, one cube and one thing, right? But then that gives you the starting point for developing further. And then that gives you the starting point for developing further. And that's how you nudge your scene further and further and further. All right. And so, in a sense, your scene will never be final. Okay, your scene will never be final, especially if you're making it your own. Like you'll keep finding something that you can develop and something you can make better, right? Now, which brings me to the creative aspect and the technical aspect, right? So there is a creative aspect and then there is a technical aspect, right? Now the creative aspect is all of this stuff, right? Like how my camera is my character visible, is my character looking good and all of that. Avi, I requested you to not distract, please. If you're going to distract, you gotta log off. Okay, it is very distracting, right? I'm trying to have a discussion here, all right? So please don't do that, Avi. All right. Um, so as I was saying, one second, my train of thought has been disrupted. Uh, yes. So we are increasing complexity with every pass, and in every pass there are two aspects. One is the creative aspect and one is the technical aspect, right? So what is the creative aspect? The creative aspect is, okay, is this scene looking good? Is there balance? Is the composition right? Is the camera too close, too far? And these are all aesthetic changes, right, which you will develop as you grow, as you do more and more. You will develop that eye for aesthetic and detail, and what looks good, what looks pleasing, and all of that. So that's one thing. The second part is the technical aspect. For example, right now you made this scene and now you have, what you want creatively. You want stars in the background, right? But then there is that gap, technical gap. You don't know how to do the stars, right? You know what you want and you know how it should be, but there's a technical gap. You don't know how to get there, how to make it, right, in Blender or whatever application you are going to be using, right? And so you will always be dealing with this, Divyan. Okay. you will forever deal with this. This will never get resolved because you can't possibly learn everything, right? You can't possibly learn how to do everything. So what's important is that you develop the creative aspect, the creative side, that you know what you want for sure. That is critical, right? Okay, Avi and Divyan, you with me, right? So knowing and developing your eye, and so going in passes on your scene is really important to develop this eye, to develop this skill of, okay, what I want. Like right now you said star, and then the star will do, you have some thought process of what it's going to be, and that's very clear, right? Now what can you do with that kind of clarity is, first off, you have to be okay with the fact that there will always be a technical gap. Like even today, after 20 years of doing animation, I still, every time I do a scene, there's always a technical gap. It is never a day that I'm doing something and I want something and I know how to do it, right? More often than not, there's something I'm struggling with, right? I'm trying to find out how to do it and all of that, right? And so I want to talk a little bit about how you should go about that, and how you should create structures to ongoingly do that, right? Okay. So I'll share my scene, okay, and give you a sense of this, right? One second, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, can you see my screen? So I was also doing this homework. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. So I was doing this homework, and then I was like, okay, who is my brobot? My brobot is a cleaner robot, right? And he helps to clean. And so where is he? He's going to work. Maybe he's just traveling on the road somewhere, and he sees some trash, and he picks it up, right? On the road. So that's my animation, right? He picks it up and then he goes. And so I did this now. So this is maybe the third pass I'm on, right? Third or fourth, right? So take a look. So we have this truck go by, it leaves some crap. This guy comes in, looks at it, comes back, vacuum pump comes out, zoop, and then he goes back on his way. And then this becomes a loop, right? So it's a seamless loop. So that guy exits, comes, he picks that up, and then he goes, right? And so you can see, so it's a simple thought process. Now initially what happened was, I drew a frame like this. So I actually don't have that drawing, but let me show you. Okay. Okay, so 2D sculpt, 2D animation, yeah. So initially I just started with something like this. This was a frame, ground. This is my brobot, and he's looking down at some crap. There's some crap lying here, and I had drawn a vacuum thing coming out of this part, and it's like an actual vacuum cleaner. So this was my rough sketch, right? Can you see it indicates something? And so I use this to frame my shot, right? And so I framed it, and then I moved it to a kind of 3D view. Now of course you can't draw 3D maybe, and so that's not needed, because something like that. See, it's such a rough drawing and there's some crap here, right? So as I took this into 3D, that's when I realized, oh, I don't want the crap to be in front of him, right? So see, now these are the things I had to deal with, right? I don't want it to be on the front of him, because bringing the arm out in front of him wouldn't be as interesting, right? And so I thought, okay, he's just walking by. So then that led to, okay, where is the trash? How does the trash get there, right? So the first answer was, okay, the trash is off the curb on the road. Okay, so then we get this nice animation where he kind of passes by and then looks at it, right? And then comes back and then he, pulls out an arm, and so all this while, initially I thought his arm will already be outside, and so I made some versions like that, but then that didn't work. Then so each trial and error led to the other, right? That's my point. Now, as I was doing this, the hand came, he took it in, okay, and he exited. Now, I wanted this to be a seamless loop. So, when I realized that the trash is gone, that means the scene has to start without trash, right? If the trash is there, that means, how is it a seamless loop? So then that's when I thought, okay, let me have something pass by, and that becomes an excuse to, make the road dirty, right? And so I just modeled this truck with something. Initially, the thought was something falls from the back and then it falls on the floor, right? And then this guy is just passing by and he looks at it and picks it up. So can you see the thought process, right? And you also probably went through this kind of a thought process, right, Divyan? Did you? Similar structure.
Yes.
Yeah? That one thing leads to the other. Now, the most important, yes, Avi. The most important insight in this is that you want to ask questions as a viewer. You are actually asking yourself the questions a potential viewer will ask about your scene. Yes, Divyan.
I had a question about the scene.
Yeah.
The robot that just left the trash
Uh-huh.
and the robot, why are they on the different sides of a road? Why the road they are under different colors?
Yeah, so this is the footpath.
Oh,
This is the footpath and this is the road. I was going to add, so good question, right? And so I have to clarify that by maybe adding a bench here, right? Or having some trees and bushes
or
here.
adding white lines in the middle of
Yes,
the road.
yes, white lines on the road, or maybe adding like a gutter, that making the footpath a little taller, having a curb.
Drainage.
See, very good question. See, it's a viewer question. Now, how do I solve that visually? Right? And see, already ideas have come. Maybe add a bench, maybe make the footpath smaller, right? Maybe change the color of the footpath, right? Or add a, water hydrant, for firefighters, right? Many things. Maybe I could add a light pole, right? So it absolutely clarifies that it's a footpath, right? And so, can you see this is the most critical insight of this conversation, right? That passes are there for you to view your artwork or your scene as a viewer and then punch holes in what you have done in terms of clarity of communication. कि ये scene में what are you communicating? Is that communicating? Alright? Now, see, there is a spectrum of communication. Now, this is what I mean by spectrum is that there is a range of absolutely clear, ranging from absolutely clear to completely ambiguous. You get what I'm saying? If someone is joined, Ashmin. Hello, Ashmin. Welcome to the call.
Hello, sorry for joining a bit late.
Yes, you have missed quite a bit, Ashmin. I wish you were there for the start of this conversation. So now you just try to catch up, all right? Okay. So as I was saying, Divyan and Avish, that the most critical insight or takeaway from all of what we have done in level 2 is that whatever you're making has to communicate, and while you're making it you have to ask questions about it as a viewer, right? And you have to answer those questions, right? So you look at your scene and you say, what about this? Like for example, here I was telling you, right, where did the trash come from? So then we added a truck. The truck added the trash. Okay, the robot has come, now he collects it. Now a question comes, is he on the road or is he on a footpath? How do I clarify the footpath? Okay, maybe I'll add some more assets, like I add a bench, I add a lamppost, add a bush behind, or maybe I add those white lines, divider lines on the road to really clarify that this is a road, right? And now Divyan, you also mentioned that this is a robot, so the truck doesn't look like a truck. Then I need to change the design. Maybe there's smoke coming out, right? Maybe these rocks fall. So can you see there are so many decisions, so many choices you can make, but those choices have to be rooted in the viewer's understanding. That is the critical aspect. You always approach your scene in passes. You develop it in passes, that you keep developing it. One pass you did some level, then again you do a pass and develop upgrade all aspects of your scene. Then you again do another pass, and each pass you are asking different questions, right, that get revealed, that the audience might ask, right? Now I was talking about clarity. Okay, so all scenes have, like right now, let me play this scene. Okay, oops, truck comes in, drops some crap, robot comes in, he looks at the crap, backs up, his arm comes out, and then whoop, and he goes off on his business, right? Now you can see that this is pretty much clear, right? What's happening? The story is pretty clear. Something is there on the street, a robot comes by and cleans it, and he has a specialized vacuum. So that also clarifies that this guy is like a cleaner or helper robot, right? He had no reason to clean it, but he saw it on the street and then he cleaned it up, right? So this addresses many of our constraints for the scene, right? Many of our constraints and the project brief, right? Now, as you can see, this is absolutely clear. Okay, pretty clear, like it's almost 70% clear, right? So, visual communication and clarity of communication is a spectrum. Okay, you can go from 0 to 100, where 100 is absolutely clear, no doubt what's happening, right? And 0 is like totally unclear, ambiguous, right? And they all have their purpose. So the kind of work that we do as professionals, if you are going to start doing project work or animation projects or architectural projects, right? Where someone is going to take your designs and do something, that's where visual clarity is absolutely required, right? If you're making a TV show, okay, or if you're making a comic book, right? Visual clarity is absolutely required because an audience is going to try and understand what you're saying or what you have done, right? It's important for them to understand, and that's why visual clarity is absolutely required. But that doesn't mean that you always need to have visual clarity. Okay, there is another side of the spectrum where visual ambiguity is also a style, right? And that goes into the fine art space. So this is the difference between fine art and applied art. If you've heard the terms commercial or applied art, and there is something called fine arts, right? So commercial and applied arts is arts again, where we are, building something, creating something. It's art, but it has a function, it has a purpose. It's telling a story. It's, it's a table, a chair, it's being used, something, right? Fine art is ambiguous, it's subjective. Someone sees it, 10 different people will see that piece, 10 different people will get it, 10 different feelings, right? 10 different understandings. Yes, Divyan?
I have one more viewer question.
Yes.
So the trucks carrying the rocks or whatever it is,
Uh-huh.
Why does it have its one end open? Like, wouldn't all the things just fall out?
So yes, so that was the whole idea, right? I wanted the rocks to fall, I wanted the scrap to fall from inside, right? And then that's why I kept this open. But then I kept it open, I realized, oh, dropping this is going to be, so it's a series of
And al-
failures
and
actually.
also,
Huh?
and also on the truck, there's some part of the rock sticking out.
Aha, like the truck is carrying some rocks. Can you see? The truck is carrying some rocks. My thought process was some rocks will fall. Okay. And so it's not foolproof. Okay. There are many questions to be answered. That's right. Okay. But this is, you've actually got what I'm trying to say. By asking this question itself, the room has understood what I'm trying to say, right? So these are the questions that you want to ask, like how you're questioning this scene, you want to ask your scenes as well, right? And there, so that is one aspect. So like I was saying, Divyan and Avish and Ashmin now, like I was saying, there are two aspects when you're building your scene. One is the creative aspect where you're asking these questions and trying to answer them, and then there will always be the technical gap, right? The technical gap and how to do it. Like for example, right now I have this truck pass by and I want this crap to fall off the truck. Now the technical gap is, how do I make this rocks fall down and look nice, right? If they fall, that means there has to be some kind of bump for the truck to go over, right? So that means the truck will have to go over a bump. and then it falls, and when it falls it's got to kind of bounce. Now when I think about it, that's a lot of animation work, right? So I don't want to spend so much time animating, so then how do I solve that, right? So now I've done some, just cheating. If you see, the truck just passes by and then the rocks are just there, right? So I've done some cheating here, right? And that's also fine, depends on what you're trying to get at, right? Now I can so now you also want to kind of balance the creative aspect and the technical gap. That okay, there is a technical gap here, is it worth solving? Is it worth spending the time to solve that technical gap, right? Like for example, let me show you, okay? And Ashmin, this is to say, just in a nutshell, like every time you work in a scene, there are two things. One is the creative aspect, where you know how to put your robot, like you know how to make it look good, where the robot will come. You think the robot should be a little bigger, you think the environment should be a little smaller, or you want to change something. These are all creative, right? There is a technical aspect of it also, right? Where there are certain things that you want to do, but you don't know how to do. Like Divyan has a scene where he wants starry night. Now he doesn't know how to do a starry night. He doesn't know how to make it, right? He knows creatively कि यहाँ पे starry night होना चाहिए, but वो starry nights का बनाए कैसे, right? He doesn't know. And so, as I was telling Avish and Divyan, that there will always be a technical gap. Like even today, after so many years of animation, even today, I have this technical gap almost all the time, because it's not possible for you to learn everything, right? And so you're constantly learning, and that's something that you want to get used to. If you like this kind of work, designing and all, you're always learning. You have to continue learning. So I'm going to show you how to learn, right? But before that, I want to show you an example of what I didn't know and how I had to figure it out. So there is creativity and then there is technical skill, and you want to gauge that technical skill, is it worth trying to solve right now? Is it something too big to solve, or can you solve it halfway? So let me explain, okay? So right now my job was to do this homework with you guys. My job was to do the homework myself, make a robot, make an environment, and make a quick thing, right? And it had to have some logic. So my robot is a cleaner robot, wants to vacuum, and then I started creating the scene, and then one thing led to the other, and then I ended up with this, right? The logic of how did the crap get there? Okay, a truck passes by, crap is there, then this robot passes by, he picks it up. Now some basic things I wanted to do to make it look good, like for example, I wanted this robot's wheels to turn, right? Although you can't see it so clearly, but his wheels are actually turning, right? And so let me go into another view and zoom in and show you. If it didn't turn, that would have been really weird, right? Just such large wheels, but he's just sliding around, right? So that was something that I wanted to solve. Actually, for some reason you can't really see it here. Yeah, can you see there is a slight move? Okay, actually there is, one second, huh? GX. So you can see now, sorry, Y. See, can you see the wheels are moving? I'm moving the robot front back, and the wheels are rotating, right? So now to do this, there are many ways, okay? And it includes like rigging, doing a lot of complicated things, and making a whole rig and all. And I didn't have the time for that. So now I'm sharing this thought process because this is the thought process that you also have to apply, okay? You also have to apply this, and then you are going to apply this to everything in your scene, okay? So creatively, okay, I looked at my scene, and in this pass I realized, see, when I first put the keyframes for the robot, I didn't put the wheel rotating, okay? Then I came back in a pass on top, and in that pass I realized, okay, now it's time to add the wheel rotate. And then I thought about it, and I was like, okay, if I have to rig this like a car and do proper car animation, that's going to be a lot of work, right? So then how do I simplify this? I just want him to move forward and the wheel should rotate, right? And so what I did is, so now I'm trying to simplify the idea, model moves forward and wheel rotate. I tried to bring this into a sentence, and simplest thing, just search on Google, right? All you have to do, and you also search on some AI. If you use AI, I wouldn't recommend using AI, okay? Just search on Google, go to Google and search. So what I searched on Google was object, I want, and literally I just write a sentence in Google, okay? I have an object that I want to control a wheel with. If the object moves on the y-axis, the wheel should rotate on the x-axis. Can you see? I kind of spoke of it in a slightly technical way, right? Use some technical jargon, and in the last I said in Blender. Simple, right? And you will not believe I got a whole bunch of things. I got, like for example, let's do that search right now. Let me just do it, okay? See, there you go. I'm going to share my screen. So look at what my search is. I have an object that when I move on y-axis, I wanted to drive a wheel's rotation on its x-axis in Blender. That simple, right? Try to give a little technical background, right? X-axis, y-axis move, right? And see, immediately the AI overview says to make an object's movement along the y-axis drive a wheel's rotation, you can use either a driver or a transformation constraint, right? Now, there is something hidden here, okay? You might not know what a driver is, but Google now has told you there's something called a driver, okay? Now you can search on Google again, how to use drivers in Blender. There you go, you have a 5-minute video about drivers. One second.
What's up, guys? Justin here with.
Now see here,
Let's go ahead and just
he
create a
is
simple.
showing how to move a clock, I guess, right?
So I want to go into my.
And so this is the study, the research part, right? This is how you close the technical gap. Okay, and what's important to close the technical gap, okay, is the language you use, right? So right now I put my question in a sentence. I tried to use some technical terms. Now Google has given me actual technical terms, that there is something called a driver or there is something called a transformation constraint, right? Now I can use these terms or look at the search that it has given me, or I can go down and see in the video, see how to rig a wheel. And now I can quickly watch these things and see, okay, does any of these things solve my problem? Guys, can you turn on your camera? It's like I'm talking to a wall. I need some visual feedback, guys. All right. Okay. So, Divyan, Avish, are you there? Yes, please keep your cameras on. Okay. I need some visual feedback. All right. Okay. So, as I was saying, this is the process I want you to use as well to close your technical gap. So, for example, Divyan, you don't know how to do stars. Okay. You put it in Google. I want to make a starry night sky in Blender. Okay. It will give you a whole bunch of options, right? And the more you do this, right, the more you try to close your technical gap using Google, because Google also shows you videos, YouTube videos, right? So you will begin to uncover, you will begin to develop your technical terminology as well. And you will also learn your own method of finding what you want, right? Okay, this is the technique that I use, okay? Definitely there is no way for you to know everything. You cannot learn everything. And so what is important to learn is the creative part, the creative aspect. So you know, you have developed your eye so much that you know what looks good, what you want, your vision, these things you want to develop. How to do it is the second part, is the technical aspect that we can always find, right? There's always some resource, there's AI, there's YouTube. Okay, there's always, there is no shame in using these resources, right? You use these resources to learn, and when you learn these, you will be surprised as to what other things you learn with it, right? So quickly, back to my scene, I found that there's a very simple way that, the y-axis movement can just be control the wheel rotation with something called a driver, right? Now I'm not going to get into how a driver works and all, but I just watched a quick little video and talk to Google about it, driver, and I figured it out, and that's it. That's how. So that one technical gap, I want the wheels to turn, got solved, right? Okay, so this is how you want to, progress. All right. Okay, any questions so far, Divyan? Ashwin? Okay, just quickly I want to ask Ashmin. Ashmin, were you able to develop your scene a little bit more? Your rescue scene, have you developed anything? Have you created anything? Yo, calling Ashmin. Okay, Ashmin's not there. Okay. All right. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Yes, Ashmin, were you able to develop your scene, your rescue scene? Do you have anything that?
Not that much though, because I was busy
Oh,
with
okay.
something.
All right. So as I did inform this to Divyan. So see, Ashmin, you missed last session, right? What we are going to do is today is the last eighth session of the workshop. Okay, and no problem. I understand you might have missed it. It's vacation. You know there are things to do. I get that. Not a problem, right? So don't worry about what you've missed. Don't worry about what you haven't done. Okay, what is to be done right now is more important, right? So we are going to have a last catch up session. I'm going to schedule that maybe 10 days to 15 days from now, right? And so you get the time to catch up on the previous sessions. Okay, so today on the group I will share all the recordings. Okay, I think you missed the last session, so you just want to see the last session recording and do your assignment. Okay, the assignment is to create this scene. Okay, so you, and of course on the group I'm available through this 2 weeks. Anytime you get stuck, you want to have a call, you want to ask a question, this goes for everyone. Okay, Divya and everyone, I am available to answer any questions. The job is to complete this scene. Okay, you have a, and now Ashmin, you have a sense, right? You've seen what my scene is, right? I made a quick little scene. So you also want to develop your scene that way, a quick little, you're telling a story about your character. What is he doing? Where is he? It's a rescue, so he's looking around, he's trying to, pull out or move something, whatever. You have to figure that out, right? Okay. And so the time from now to the catch up session is where you will develop that now. Okay. And I want you to enjoy this process, right? Like last night I was sitting up and doing this. One thing led to the other, to the other, to the other. How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I roll the wheel? Then I looked at some tutorials and I figured that out. And there is a kind of satisfaction, right, in that. Like when you do that, when you get your outcome, you're like, yes, I got it, right? I want you to tune into that. Okay, I want you to tune into that satisfaction. Okay, the minute you find that, right, you will really enjoy this, and you will find yourself, like Divyan actually mentioned it. He started it and he got carried away, right? You thought you'd finish your work by 11:30, but then you went on till 1, right, or 1:30 or whatever, correct? And that's what will happen, right? You'll get into a flow, right, and you'll start, and it actually becomes like how we did our circle exercise. Just building the scene also becomes that. It's like a meditative flow. One thing leads to the other. अच्छा इसको करना है, इसको करना है, इसको करना है, इसको बढ़ाओ, इसको change करो, इसको, keep doing that and come in passes, right? So that's what I wanted to say about the whole making process. All right. Now, any other questions? We have like 15 minutes, 10 minutes now more. So any questions, any concerns about your scene, Divyan? No? I can't hear you, Divyan.
How do I make the stars?
Ha. Okay. So you can share your screen. Actually, no. Actually, wait. Let's do that. Let's do that here only. Let me search. Okay. I know off the top of my head. You can do it with a texture. Okay. Let's see. I'm in Google and I'm just gonna search how to make starry night sky in Blender. Create a night sky with stars in Blender. See? Can you see my screen? Yeah? You can see my screen, right? The first video is that only. It's a 4-minute video with exactly that. Create a night sky with stars in Blender, right? Then how to make outer space starry sky. So the point is, and especially with Blender, okay, the point is, no matter what you think, someone has done it, okay, and made a video. So don't worry about it. No matter what you think, no matter how obscure, and that's the greatest part about Blender, okay, this is not there in most other applications, right, like Maya and Studio Max and all of that. You won't find as much resources online, but with Blender it's a completely different story, right? And that's why with Blender you really don't need to ask AI. AI's answers are generally not correct, okay, if you ask GPT or Claude or that kind of thing, I've always noticed that if you ask them a specific thing to do, like how to make a starry night sky, they will tell you some steps. Okay, it will look legitimate, but if you start trying it, it won't be the correct one. The version is different, the tool isn't there, so you're going to end up wasting time, right? The best thing to do is just search on Google, and there's 100% chance that someone made a video. Now, the second step is if you don't find a video, okay, in Blender, if you search in Blender and you still don't find something relevant, then you just add Reddit at the end. Okay, if you add Reddit at the end, you will see your search changes and you will find where people have asked questions. See, in my searches comes, how can I best create a starry night sky for my scene? Now you click on that, you'll get into Reddit. Okay, now you can see someone has a scene. How can I best create a starry night sky for my scene? And then there's a whole bunch of people have told him, they have linked him, they have, given him ideas. Someone has given a whole bunch of set up your world shader as shown. See, he's given an image. See, there are people actually helping. See, he's put an image of his scene and showing how the setup, right? 1 second. Yeah, he's showing his node setup. Then in that same, he's put another image, right? So the community online is very powerful. See, there you go. He's developing, it's crazy. Okay, this is so never worry about the technical part of Blender, right? You can always solve it, right? There will always be someone who will help you. Even if you don't have someone like me, just you can be a part of Reddit Blender. There is this is our Blender help. When I say, you guys know Reddit? Have you used Reddit?
Yes.
Ashmin, have you used Reddit?
Yeah, like a few times.
Yeah. So here you can see this Reddit is called Blender Help. Okay, and it has 160,000 weekly visitors, right? So you can also, if you can't find anything finally about what you're trying to do, you can just post a question here, right? And someone will help you, right? And so this is the way you are going to learn, all right? Because there is no way for you to learn everything about Blender or any other application, whether you're using Unity, Unreal Engine, After Effects, any of these creative tools, right? There's no way you can learn everything. There's no way you will learn, So what is important is developing the creative, the eye. What we've been doing in level 2 is not technical. What we've been doing is to develop the eye and the thinking, right? How to think and how to arrive at our conclusion. With me, right? So when you are Divyan, so when you are now going to develop your scene, okay, I want you to further develop it. Actually, share your screen right now, okay? I'm going to stop sharing right now. So today has been more of a more of a conceptual talk, right? And because now you are going to do the work from now to the next session, all right?
Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen. All right. So now, as someone who has a little experience, see, there's no difference between you and me. Okay. The only difference is that I have done certain things over and over again. That's all. Right? Your intelligence, your everything, we are the same. You might be younger than me, okay, but that doesn't that is not a indicator of our abilities, right? Okay, and so you want to do more of this, whatever right now you're developing, to unlock that thinking. See, the thinking is already there and you already unlocked it. But if you stop right now, that development will stop, right? So now let me show you, let me tell you some things about this scene, okay? Again, these are again, just pause your scene again, okay? And now these are again questions that a viewer would ask, right? Okay, so when I look at this scene, okay, I have this, okay, now play the scene and now let it play on loop.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Share your screen and play your animation. Yeah, play it. I can see your screen. Yes, just
How
play
do I
it.
do the back? Just let it loop.
Yeah. Okay, so that beeps and then Ajay is reversing.
Wait, it's reversing.
Ah, okay. Hmm. Okay, so now the way I'm defining these things,
It
right?
goes
There is no right and
that
wrong in your scene. Okay, there are only certain things we can do to accentuate it. Okay, so now if you were to ask me as a viewer, actually everything is pretty much clear right now. There's a robot entering your scene. It's dark, and he turns on the lights, right? And now the scene is ready for something to happen. So it's pretty clear, right? And this could easily be the opening for a short film, right? The opening scene, like it's a dark scene, a figure enters, you can only see its silhouette. It reaches a position, some light beeps, and the cockpit starts, right? Yeah, can you hold? Yeah, and so it has a lot of story already, right? It's very clear, right? And then you could have another scene after that. It's like a opening of a Star Wars movie, literally, right? Now there are certain things that you can make use or experiment to make this more dramatic. Okay, so what are the things that you can try to do? Okay, at this blocking level, at this level, can you share your screen? Yeah, you can, like I was suggesting also, you can lower the camera a bit, right? And before the robot comes in, okay, you could pull out the camera. Okay, can you see my webcam? So imagine the robot isn't in the screen. Okay, you have only the cockpit and the camera zooms in slowly. It's zooming in, and that's when the robot comes in and it stops zooming in, right? So that slight zoom in will add something to your scene, right? What's happening, bro? Can you share your screen? Or let me open your Blender file. I have your Blender file here.
that one's a very outdated one.
Acha, okay.
I
So
use
why are
the
you not able to share your screen? I can't see it.
It says you are presenting in my
Show my screen anyway. Ah, okay. Now I can see. Now I can see. All right. So just select your camera. Select your camera and go to the first frame in your timeline.
these those were hidden.
Hmm.
Should I select it in the outliner?
Yes. Select it in the outliner.
Setup.
Okay. And in your timeline, go to the first frame.
My timeline, the first frame.
Go to the first frame.
Yeah, I'm at 0.
All right. Okay. Now this is your camera view. So now we have this robot here. Just hide your robot for now. Okay. Just hide the robot. You'll have
I've
to,
hidden the empty, but it doesn't do
yeah,
anything.
no, it will not work that way. You'll have to select, go inside the empty and select all the objects and then hide them. Yeah. Because the empty, if it's in a collection, only then will all the objects turn off. Turning off the empty does not turn off the children. This whole empty has to be in a collection. Okay. So remember that if you want to control your visibility of objects, it has to be in a collection, right? Okay. So now here's your scene. Now where's your camera's field of view? Are you inside the camera? Jump into the camera. Okay. So now select your camera is selected. No, your camera is not selected. Select your camera and the yes, and reveal the n panel in your viewport. Yes. Now bring the camera down. Okay, so on Z. So change the Z value from 6.1784 up. Click on that and bring it down. Down, little more down. Little more down. Bus. Now tilt the camera up. No, you've gone too far. Yes. Now tilt the camera up. No, on the X. Yes, little too much. Okay, so now each position of the camera, when the camera is a little lower looking up, it gives a grander feel, right? When the camera is lower and looking up, it gives a grander, bigger feel. When the camera is up and looking down, it makes things look smaller. It's like how a giant, if someone is 6'5" and he's walking down the street, he's going to be looking down at everyone, right? And from his point of view, everyone's going to look small, right? But if you are a kid running through the street and you have a camera on your head and everyone's taller than you, you're looking up like that. So the viewer is going to feel like everything is big, right? And so, yes, so this you automatically increase the scale of your scene. This is the creative aspect that I want you to develop, right? This has nothing to do with technicality of how to do it. These are things that change the feel of your scene. Can you see already the scene looks a little bigger, and now you'll realize you want to have a ceiling also because you're seeing a little more of the ceiling, right? Now I want you to take the Y value, okay? Just bring your mouse to the Y value, and pull it back, pull the back camera. So just click and drag on that Y value, okay? Do a lot. Why is it?
It's
No, it's the
nothing.
camera is not selected. Select the camera.
Oh,
Select the camera.
by the way, I have to undo all of that.
Yeah, you changed some things, right? Okay. Select the camera. Now on
Focus
Y.
face.
Oh, it's not Y. It's
Z,
X.
X, X.
X. Now go back. Pull back. You're zooming in. Now imagine you start somewhere here, or go a little closer and move slowly, like a slow camera move inside. Move it like you're actually moving the camera in. Can you see? So imagine if you start your scene with a slow camera move inside, right? From a low angle. So you are developing some interest. Where are we? What is this place? The lights are off. The camera zooms in. And then from off camera, this robot enters, right? And does this thing. So now these kind of tiny little things come from observation, like how I've watched a lot of movies. I watch the movies not just for what's happening, but to see what they're doing with the camera. Why do I feel that way when I see that scene, right? And so I'm sharing this with you to experiment these things, and also to keep in mind when you are watching movies, when you are watching references, think of all these things. Like, what are you feeling when you see this? When you see this movie, when you see this shot, what does it make you feel? And most likely there are certain standard things that the artist has done to make you feel that. Like right now, to make this cockpit look big, I brought the camera down. You will always see in any game or movie, to show scale, the camera is always low. It's always a low camera. You're always looking up at something to give scale, to make it look large and magnificent, right? And if you want to make things look small, you just put the camera up and look down at something, right? And so, of course, I can't sit here and explain all the various things that people, artists and filmmakers do, right? But what I can do is I can set you off on this path of thinking, and that's what I want to do, right? I want to set you off on this path of thinking. Begin to observe movies this way, or begin to observe what you are feeling when you see an image, right? Why do you like that image? What do you like about that image? Like when you're doing referencing for, say, your scene, what do you like about that image? Why do you feel that way? Is it because the camera is down? Is it because the character's colors are such, right? So these are the things you want to ask yourself, and you want to also try. So right now you have this scene, and Ashwin, you can also try this, with if your rescue scene is there, the robot is coming, you can zoom in the camera, right? Go close to him, or move the camera to show more of the environment, right? Because again, another key insight, the camera is your viewer, right? Think of it that way. The camera is your viewer. Where you point your camera is what your viewer is going to see, right? And so the camera is your viewer, and you have to think of, and in 3D, it's very easy to think of the camera as your viewer, right? If you want to create something big, just put the camera down. If you want to create a flyby animation, just move the camera fast, right? And so begin to develop your scene with this thought process from now to the next catch-up session. And while you're developing the scene creatively, you will realize technical issues, right? In those technical issues, think of what you can achieve. How can you simplify it? And if you're having trouble with this, call me. I'll help you simplify your thought process, right? And I'll help you find the resources to make what you want to achieve, right? Say, Ashmin, you want to make a destroyed city, right? and placing every object is becoming difficult. You want to find a way to do it. There is a way. There is a way for everything, right? So we can break that down, right? But the point is, you have to start moving. Okay, you have to start moving, you have to start creating. And this is another key insight, all right, which until you don't start doing, you will not know what to do. Okay, you know what that means? That you can sit and think about it a lot. Okay, a lot. Okay, my scene will have this robot, then he will come here, then he will go there, then this will happen, then this will happen. You can actually make a whole movie in your head, right? But nothing's going to come of it, because when you actually do it, that's when you realize, oh, what are the problems, how do I solve that, how do I solve that? So at the end of it, actually doing art is actually problem solving. You are actually solving problems constantly, right? And that happens only in the doing. So from now to the next catch up session, I just want you to keep doing, keep doing your scene. You don't like your scene, scratch it, do another scene. You don't like that scene, scratch that, do another scene. The job is to get one complete scene done, right? By the next catch up session. Okay. Just sharing my screen again, right? And even I'm not going to stop here. I'm also going to go ahead. One second, stop sharing. Okay, we're almost done. It's just 5 minutes over. I will close the session in 2 minutes. All right. Yeah. So develop your scene. So even I'm going to continue developing it. I'm going to add lights. I'm going to fix the footpath. I'm going to add some bushes in the back, make it more clear, maybe have a camera move, right? And experiment with different things, right? And so I want you to also do that from now to the next catch up, right? Take out half an hour, 1 hour a day, right? And develop your scene, right? You might have other things to do. Definitely you should do other things also, right? And just try to do this. Okay, cool. Everyone's going to do it. Hands up. Who's going to do it? Yeah. All right. All right. Any concerns? Any what abouts? If, what about this? What about that? Any questions like that? No? Okay. Okay, cool. So we've completed 8 sessions. That's incredible, right? I feel like the sessions just started and we're already at the end, right? But this was super fun. Thank you for being here today. All right. And I am available to you till the end of this catch up session. So please use me, do your scene, get in touch with me, share it on the group. Okay. Tell me where you're stuck. We will move forward. We will do something and move forward. All right, guys. Yeah, I can't wait to see your scenes. Okay, I want to see your scenes. We have to complete this. Okay, see you guys. Bye Ashwin, bye Divyan, bye Avi.
Goodbye.